What is up, everybody? This is Anthony with VR Game Rankings, and of course, this is the Daily Vlog Live. It is, I believe, episode 163, and today is Monday, July 30th, and we are back in the building. As you well know, this is a daily show, and we bang this thing out on a daily basis. You, of course, can join us in chat. I am about to pop out the chat right about now. And so this is going to be the new time. The new time for VR Game Rankings, Daily Vlog Live. This is the new time. And it's going to be 11 a.m. daily, Monday through Friday. Fluke is in the building. He is the first chatter. I bet the first chat. Well, I guess, yeah, technically, I guess the first chatter on the block. He remembered the 11 a.m. start time. Nobody else has. Okay, in the video window right here, you see Greg Miller. This is kind of funny. What you're going to see when I start these shows is I'm randomly going to throw something up there just to have something going on in the background. And then, of course, I can go ahead and grab my official intro trailer just to technically do that. So let's go ahead and do that. Daily Vlog Live, episode 163, once again, July 30th, 2018. It is Monday, the beginning of a brand new week, and this is a pretty exciting week. It really is. It's a pretty exciting week. In fact, today, I can tell you guys, today, the embargo is up on Pixel Ripped 1989. So you're going to start seeing reviews and a lot of impressions and takes on Pixel Ripped 1989. In fact, our own Paradise Decay has done a big breakdown video of Pixel Ripped 1989 with more of his extended impressions. And I'll have some things to say about that a little bit later. I have played some more of Pixel Ripped. The one apology I do need to make is that I've had some relatives that have been staying with me for like the last 6 or 7 days. And that has really affected my ability to be able to play all of these games. And so many games have been hitting me in the last couple of days, some of which I can't talk about yet, some of which are embargoed. And then, of course, you know, you got Marvel Powers United VR. I've got a code for Pixel Ripped. The Persistence just came out. I barely scratched the surface of the Persistence for PSVR, and I haven't even been able to get back to it. And this is because I've had these some relatives that have been staying with me, and it's kind of complicated things. So my apologies. I mean, I know some of you guys out there are probably like, dude, what is up? You should have played through a lot of this stuff. You should have some detailed takes on it. But it's been an impossibility. Haven't been able to do that. So anyway, let's go ahead and let's start things off with a basic little story here. This isn't anything major. Nothing groundbreaking, but I'm going to throw on some footage right here. If you guys see the footage in the window, this is Gran Turismo Sport, which I talked about not too long ago that there is a July update. Let me see what the sound is like right here. Typical engine noises that we get. But yeah, you can tell that this is a PSVR video. If you see the rounded corners up there, the upper corners are rounded, which means that this is footage that was captured on a PlayStation 4 featuring excuse me, featuring the PSVR gameplay for the July update of Gran Turismo Sport, which they have added some cars to this. This is the Mercedes F1, I believe, and looks pretty cool. Let me fix my chat here. I might actually have to, that's probably going to be good for chat right there. This will show like the last 6 or 7 messages. I might actually have to run up to Redbox and rent Gran Turismo Sport and try this because I like convertibles. I like driving in convertibles in a VR game because it's so much more VR as far as I'm concerned. Because, you know, you can look over here, you can look over there, you see the trackside objects, you know, you're not inside a car. I think it is a little bit better from that standpoint. So yeah, that's Gran Turismo Sport. This is an example of some of the new things that have been added to it. Might want to check that out. It would just be a quick rental at Redbox. That would pretty much be the end of it there. But just wanted to bring that up really quick. Nick Daniels in chat says, it looks okay, but not fantastic. And Nick, one thing I will tell you is the PS4, when it records PSVR videos, the game always looks better when you have the headset on. And the PSVR... you know, the videos just don't do the game justice. I'm sure if you had a PSVR headset on and you're actually playing this game, probably looks pretty freaking impressive. But yeah, maybe not as impressive on the video here. Okay, so my chat is leaking down there. Okay, sorry about that. Fluke Rogi is weighing in about Pixel Ripped. He's saying, I'm undecided on whether to get Pixel Ripped on Rift or PSVR. Okay, Fluke, I can decide that for you real quick. Hold on a second. I generally prefer multi-platform releases on PC, but the DualShock seems to fit in better with holding the handheld in the game. Okay, so I was going to try to wait a little bit later to kind of talk a little bit more about Pixel Ripped, but Fluke is bringing it up. And, you know, this is the end of the embargo today, so I can talk more about the game, although I honestly haven't been much further in. I have made it to the second level of Pixel Ripped, though, so I do have a little bit more of a take having made it to the second level. I got to rescale this. That Gran Turismo video screwed everything up. Okay, here we go. You know, resize that pretty quickly. Resize this thing pretty quickly here. So basically, here's my take on Pixel Ripped 1989. Should you get it on Oculus? Should you get it on PSVR? And it's an interesting thing, but I will tell you this. I played Pixel Ripped 1989 on my Oculus Rift last night for the first time. I had only played it on PSVR. And playing it on my Oculus Rift, wow. It looks really, really good on the Oculus Rift. Like, it looks better, considerably better than the PSVR version. Of course, this game does come out tomorrow, 1999. And you know what I got to say about Pixel Ripped 1989? This game is a great game. This is a great game. And the other thing I got to say is the production values are really, really high. For a developer that is basically unknown, it was pretty much this one lady. She's from Brazil, but she went to college, I believe, in the UK. I don't know if she's still living in the UK, but she definitely has deep Brazilian ties, and I believe she's worked with a Brazilian company. I think it's called Arvor, that, you know, they have some extra programmers and stuff that have worked with what she already had to kind of finish this game and kind of button this game up. And the reality is that the production values in this game are really damn good. I was incredibly impressed with the production values of this game. And the Oculus Rift version, the clarity on everything is enhanced. It really is. One of the things that I wonder about is the PlayStation VR version probably doesn't have a PS4 Pro patch. It's probably basically the vanilla version of, you know, the vanilla PS4 version of the game. Still looks good. I had a ton of fun playing it on PSVR, but holy smokes, the clarity and the crispness. Like, you know, that Gear Kid that you're holding in your hand? You can take that Gear Kid and move it really close to your face and look at it, and it is like, wow, looks really, really good. Very impressed with Pixel Ripped 1989. Now, there is a bit of a concern, though. There is a slight concern in regards to Pixel Ripped 1989 on the Rift. And the concern is when you first start the game, it gives you the options. Do you want to use your touch controllers, or do you want to use, say, like an Xbox controller? And I chose the touch controllers. I have not tried it yet with my Xbox controller. I do want to try it maybe later with my Xbox controller to see the difference. The problem with choosing the Xbox controller is the fact that it's not going to be tracked. So I imagine what they do in the game is they kind of just have your hands like this, and you're holding the gear kid, and it's kind of like your hands are like attached to your body, and it's kind of fixed, and maybe you can kind of turn a little bit this way or that way, but it's going to be fixed. You're not going to have this up or down kind of thing. So I don't know how that's going to work precisely. So I tried the touch version of it, and there is one problem with doing the touch version. The problem is, okay, so in this game Pixel Ripped, you're going to be playing a retro game throughout this entire thing. A lot of it is going to be played on the Gear Kid, but I think some of it is played on possibly like a television, almost like you're on an old video game console, maybe an arcade machine. I don't know. It depends on the later levels, right? But when you are playing the regular Gear Kid game, basically the Game Boy game that you're going to be playing throughout a lot of this as you're trying to hide what you're doing and not get busted by the teacher that comes in there, you're going to hit the B button to run fast. And then you hit, I'd have to look at my Oculus Touch controller. Yeah, B and A is on the right hand, right? So B makes you run fast, A makes you jump. Now, I don't know about you guys, but when I'm playing like an old school Mario type game, I actually play it almost claw style. Like I'll hold the controller like this and then have my other hand like this so that I can take one finger and just hold down the run fast and just keep that held down, and then my other finger, or maybe this finger, and then my other finger hits the jump. And when you're using the Oculus Rift, when you're using the touch controllers, it's kind of hard to hold down the B button and run fast and then switch over real quick and hit jump. I found that a little bit difficult. That's the one concern I have, but oh my goodness, the graphics look so much clearer, so much sharper to me than PSVR. So Fluke, I kind of think you might want to go with the Rift version because wow, clarity is a beautiful thing. It does look better, and no hiccups, no problems whatsoever, flowed absolutely perfectly. Again, I'm on the 970 here. I do have this is the native Oculus version, so it's not actually Steam. So, that plays a small role there. But man, butter smooth, production values up the yin yang. I am incredibly impressed with Pixel Ripped 1989. Also, the other thing I'll say about it real quick is I got past that beginning level. So I was stuck on that Game Boy game, playing the Game Boy game with the teacher coming over, smashing the desk. I was stuck on that. I've only played it a handful of times. I have these, relatives that are visiting. I can't be in my private dungeon playing VR games with relatives. It's just bad form, right? You got to entertain your guests, and so that's part of it. So barely scratched the surface there, but I was stuck on this little Game Boy part of it. Finally got through all of that, and if you're watching this trailer right now, I want to show you guys this one particular part of the trailer where you're kind of in this weird Tron kind of looking thing, and it kind of goes weird. I got to that part, and oh my god, that part is so freaking cool. It's exactly what I wanted it. Okay, this part no, not that part. Okay, so this is when you're in the classroom. This part right here. See this part right here? Let's see, like right, it only shows it for a brief second here. It's going to come up here in a second. This part right here. So I was playing that little part, and that little part is super freaking cool. What it does is, that's the future of retro gaming, is make it all big and make your character, you're looking up, your character's jumping up there. It's like holograms and everything. Oh my god, it looks super cool. Really love that. Just barely got to see that part of the game finally. I've made it to level 2, so I'm actually at the level now where I'm at recess outside of the school. It's recess time, and I'm playing a different level of the game. But super interesting. Really like it. Much love to Pixel Ripped Incorporated. I think they are going to sell. I think this game is going to create a lot of buzz. This is a game that really deserves a lot of buzz. Okay, let me go over to chat. I've been motor mouth this whole time. Let me see what chat's talking about. Okay, Crunchy. Oh, they're talking about Wipeout coming to PC, and Crunchy says it would be awesome if it did, but I think Sony wants to keep it an exclusive. Yeah, I mean, we might get to a day at some point where Sony starts publishing some of their games on PC. But the downside of that is, you know, why would you buy a PlayStation 5? Why would you buy a PlayStation 4? You know, et cetera, et cetera. You'll just, you know, you just game on a PC. But you could see Sony could bring a lot of their games to PC and sell a lot of extra copies. They have not decided to do that. Wipeout, I seriously doubt we will be playing that on any other platform other than PSVR. Okay, Roy Schwartz checking in. Supersonic Station, good morning. I love this game, Pixel Ripped. Yeah, wait till, I don't know if you're playing it, Supersonic Station, but wait till you get your hands on it. You're going to love it a hell of a lot more. At first, I was kind of worried. Is it too retro? Are people going to deal with this Game Boy game that you have to play for a pretty lengthy period of time to get past and see a lot of the other stages and a lot of the other things that it features? But man, people really should get past that if they can, because you will see some really cool stuff. Very impressed with Pixel Ripped. Roy Schwartz says Pixel Ripped at midnight. So yeah, it is coming tomorrow on the 31st. Let's see. Fluke was saying, I think that decides it for me then with Pixel Ripped. Rift version it is then. I'll take the clarity over the DualShock 4. Yeah, the clarity is significant in my opinion. It really is. Crunchy says, I need to get a Rift. PSVR, normally the differences are relatively minimal, and maybe there will be a pro patch. Sometimes these games, these PSVR games, like a couple months later, they get a pro patch. And if you have a PSVR Pro, it might look a little bit better. But yeah, I was impressed with the difference. Phil Yarn says, I have the Rift. Should I get this game? Well, Phil, my answer is, do you have any retro nostalgic thoughts? You know, do you have any nostalgic bones in your body for like Game Boy, Nintendo, Super Nintendo, for that kind of era? Because you have to have, I think, a little bit of retro love. I do believe there's going to be some people that get this game tomorrow and they're going to be like, you know, this is too retro for me. I don't want to spend my time playing a monochrome Game Boy game in this monochrome greenish color for like 10-15 minutes. Like, that might be a little bit too much for them. But man, you're missing out though, because I'm telling you, when you get past that and you get to where it's like the holograms and where the game starts to leak out into your reality, that's where it really gets truly impressive. I'm incredibly impressed with Pixel Ripped. Let's see, what is your favorite multiplayer game that you play with friends? Are you talking to me, Joe? What is my favorite? I mean, are you talking like just in general or like VR? Because my favorite multiplayer VR game is probably From Other Suns. That's the one that I've had the most fun in, just like meeting up with relatively random people and doing From Other Suns and having fun with that. I did enjoy that. Back in the days, I used to play Madden, you know, Madden football. I used to play Madden football like crazy, and I was actually in a league. This was way back in the Xbox days. I was in like a league where we were playing, I think it was NFL 2K something. I forget which 2K one it was, but it was online. It was on the original Xbox. Played that all the time. But just, I'm not really a big multiplayer guy. Joe Clement says, when does Echo Combat come out? Well, our prediction at VR Game Rankings is November of this year, because if you look at the last information that they said about Echo Combat, they said that it's gonna, you know, there's gonna continue to be updates and continue to be open betas throughout the rest of the year, which kind of implies that it's not coming anytime really soon. Originally, I would have thought that Echo Combat would be out maybe late August, maybe early September, but I believe it is going to be coming a little bit later. Phil Yarn, I think he's talking here about the best multiplayer games on VR, at least for him personally, is Rec Room, Gunheart, and From Other Suns. Yeah, I've had some fun in Rec Room as well. Gunheart, I actually like playing that as a single player. So I actually like playing Gunheart as a single player. Supersonic Station, Ninja Theory sent me a review copy of Hellblade, and they just set the bar for VR gaming. Wow, it's my #1 now by far. It's pretty epic. Well, I can tell you guys this. I did buy the regular normal version of Hellblade. I have not received any special codes or anything, so I can't play the VR version. So I'm waiting for that update. I've downloaded Hellblade, the regular pancake version, waiting for the update tomorrow. I'm really excited about what everybody is saying about it. I'm worried about my 970 though. I really am worried about my 970. And you know what? Since I'm talking about my 970, why don't we switch up for a second? We can always come back to Pixel Ripped a little bit later in the show. Let's switch up for a second and talk a little bit about the NVIDIA rumors. And I'm going to go ahead and rumors about these upcoming cards. I'm going to go ahead and throw on a video here and listen to what this guy is talking about, because he's talking about a number of emails and kind of like there's lots of rumors. There's been lots of rumors about NVIDIA. We keep seeing these threads on like NeoGAF and stuff. The NVIDIA cards are coming out this week, and then the week goes by, no NVIDIA cards. But anyway, I'm going to go ahead and click on this. We'll listen to this for a second. We can talk about this for a second. Let me open this up. Okay, let me add some volume here.
And once again, these are coming directly from a board partner of NVIDIA's, one of their biggest actually. And these emails are essentially being sent to the board partner's retailers. So this is a very good leak in my opinion, unless the board partner is playing a prank. I don't know. Of course, something could change as it did before, though it's highly unlikely, and here's why. In the first part of the email, the board partner discusses why NVIDIA decided to post the 1180 launch from the initial end of July date to the new date I'll go over in a second. Basically, it's what was leaked a little while back. NVIDIA and their partners were left with an overabundance of 10 series cards, so they transitioned production back to the 10 series GPUs. That's why the date was moved. Now, it's the second part that's the most interesting. They list the release dates of the 1180, 1170, and 1160, as well as another card, but I'll get back to that in a second. And keep in mind that these are release dates of this particular board partner's cards, though I'm sure the other partners will release their cards around the same time. As you can see, the 1180 has a release date of August 30th, which is when the NDA goes up and probably when NVIDIA announces everything. Then the 1170 releases on September 30th and the 1160 on October 30th. Of course, you probably noticed something a little odd. Yeah, I did as well. It's the 1180 Plus right here. Honestly, I have zero clue what that's supposed to be. Is it the TI version? I mean, probably not, or are they listed as such? Maybe it's one with more video RAM, or more likely...
Okay, so that's pretty much the information that we get out of this little video here, where this guy's talking about the release dates. And so we're talking about the 1180, the 1170, and the 1160. So this is an entirely new line of NVIDIA cards replacing the current cards. And basically, it's the 11 series compared to the 10 series. And so according to these emails that somehow leaked out, or however somebody got these emails, supposedly we are looking at August 30th is the release date for the 1180, but we have no price for it. There's going to be this 1180 Plus. What is that? Is that the TI version? Don't know too much about that yet. The 1170 supposedly is releasing on September 30th. And the 1160 is supposedly releasing on October 30th. So these are these rumors about the new GPUs, 1180s, 1170s, 1160s. And the one thing that I wonder about, say, like the 1160. So if I get an 1160 compared to like a 970, compared to like a 1060, is that going to have a significant improvement? Will I notice that improvement? Like, for example, if I'm playing Hellblade, Senua's Sacrifice, will that run a hell of a lot better on, say, an 1160 compared to a 970 and compared to a 1060? You know, of course, the 1180 is going to be the big dog here. And then we have this 1180 Plus, which could be possibly a TI version. So yeah, these are the rumors that are going on. There's been a lot of rumors about this. A couple people have mentioned this with some comments and stuff, and I forgot to get to it. So I kind of wanted to get to it real quick and see. Doesn't seem like anybody in chat is really talking about these cards, though. Hybrid Energy says, it should run better going from a 970, but you need to get off the i5 2500K already. Yeah, I really do. I need like a completely new motherboard, you know, new CPU, new memory. My memory, the memory that I'm using is from 2011. The motherboard, it's an Asus motherboard that is actually a really good motherboard. Like, I really got lucky with the motherboard that I picked, but it is from 2011. You know, my CPU instructions are from this 2011 CPU, so I can't even use a Windows Mixed Reality headset with this thing. Somebody up here was like, by the way, what the F is AMD doing? Yeah, you know, what is up with the red team? They've been behind quite a bit. I honestly feel like AMD, it used to be a situation where AMD was the Pepsi to NVIDIA's Coke when it comes to these cards, and they usually would have a pretty good card that could kind of qualify a little bit. It was cheaper, it was less powerful than some of the NVIDIA stuff, but it was considerably cheaper, and it really caused this like debate that you would have to have internally. Do I go with AMD? I could save quite a bit of money, the power is a little bit less, but then you worry about the drivers and all of that. Historically, NVIDIA's drivers have always been more up to par than AMD. That's always been a historical thing that has held AMD back. But yeah, I mean, what is going on with AMD? People don't even talk about AMD hardly. Fluke Rogi at Hybrid Energy, you're not wrong. I had a 1080 Ti on a 2600K, swapped over to a 8700K, and found out how much my old system had been holding the graphics card back. Yeah, especially for anything that is relatively CPU bound, like something like Job Simulator. As innocent as a game as Job Simulator might seem to be, if you have a really old CPU, there are certain games that just don't like these really, really old CPUs, regardless of how much you're overclocking them, regardless of how powerful they really are. There's just certain games that just don't like that. And so, yeah, I need a full upgrade. There's no question. I'm not even going to kid about that. Supersonic Station says, prices are not too bad on graphic cards at the moment compared to what they were. I think all the miners are waiting to see what happens. And, you know, the prices should get better when these new cards come out. The 1180 on the 30th of August, if that is legit, as soon as that card officially comes out, it is going to cause a tidal wave of people to start selling off their old cards and jump on the new one. And maybe I'll try to find somebody on like the Vive subreddit, Oculus subreddit, somebody I can trust that I know is not a miner. Maybe I'll buy their old used 1180 or something, not 1180, 1080 or something like that when they get the, you know, the brand new card, and I'll slum it a little bit. But it'll be a major improvement over my 970. But yeah, I still need new motherboard, all that type of stuff. Okay, so didn't want to get too into the whole card thing too much, but I just wanted to touch on that temporarily here. Okay, so let me throw on something else in the game trailer window. And you know what I'm going to put on right now is something called ATEC Cybernetic. Okay, ATEC Cybernetic. And I have some screenshots here that are going to show up on the screen, some different screenshots of ATEC Cybernetic. And then I have a couple of trailers that are what I did was I threw this all together, kind of a little ATEC Cybernetic montage. And the reason that I'm bringing up ATEC Cybernetic is because a number of people in chat have mentioned this game and talked about it, and This is a game, there are a handful of VR games that just slip by me. Like, for whatever reason, how did I not hear about ATEC Cybernetic? Or maybe this came out at a really busy time. There were so many other games and it just slipped by me. I don't know. Like VR Roundtable, like we never talked about ATEC Cybernetic. I don't know a damn thing about ATEC Cybernetic. The only reason I know about it is because they have a new game called Zero Caliber that is kind of hyped up, and this was their first game. How did I not hear about this? A lot of people are saying it is very Doom-like. It obviously looks very Doom-like. It looks kind of like Dead Effect 2, Doom, you know, Doom, both the old, you know, like Doom 3 BFG kind of looks like that. Also looks like Doom VFR as well, and definitely looks quite a bit like Dead Effect 2 VR. These videos make it look really good. Everything looks really good here. The developer, let's see here. I have a little bit of information on this. The developer is X-Real Games. This game, ATEC Cybernetic, it was released on March 15th, 2017. It has been available for over a year. How do I not know about this game? It has 169 Steam reviews, and it's very positive. The Steam reviews are very positive. So just thought I would throw this in here because I know I saw a couple of people in chat mention ATEC Cybernetic, and at first I wasn't really sure what they were talking about, and then I remembered, oh yeah, this is the developer of Zero Caliber. This is their first game. I was kind of curious what you guys thought. I'm going to go ahead and throw on... Oh, Tom Lloyd says you're on early today. Yeah, see, what happened was we were going to be at 2 o'clock, but something opened up. I was able to do this show at 11 a.m. And basically, we're going to be 11 a.m. daily. So 11 a.m. today, it's going to be 11 a.m. Tomorrow, 11 a.m. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. So 11 a.m. is the new time as far as I'm concerned. So we'll have to see what happens with that. Okay, I'm going to throw on a little volume here. Yeah, I mean, you know, looking at this trailer, it really does look very, very Doom VFR, very Dead Effect 2. It's probably pretty decent. You know, you'd have to think it's probably pretty decent, but I don't know. I don't know how they're mentioning Dead Effect 2 VR right there. But yeah, I don't know how this game slipped by me. ATEC Cybernetic. So let me go ahead and bounce over to chat. Has anybody played that firsthand? Is my question. Let's see. Phil Yarn says Dead Effect 2 VR was awesome. Did you finish that, Phil? I'm still stuck in Dead Effect 2 VR. Like, I've only gotten so far in the game. Little bit of a jank factor with Dead Effect 2 VR. I enjoy it. I enjoy how colorful it is. It's quite dark, but it's very colorful, very visceral. Stephen McDougall says they keep adding levels and extra modes. I'm guessing he's talking about ATEC Cybernetic. Harris Cedric 12 says they're still not done working on it. It's only 3 chapters. I'm guessing he's talking about ATEC Cybernetic. VR Mania Q is checking into chat. Hi all, what is up, VR Mania? Roy Schwartz says the music is cool. Roy says that about any music. I think Roy just likes it when I add a little bit of music. Here you go, Roy. That was it. Sorry, Roy. Okay, let's see. I think it looks like a fun game that is crunchy. Harris Cedric 12 waiting on the 4th chapter. I'm guessing he's talking about ATEC Cybernetic. Okay, here, Andy Sky. I bought the ATEC game too, and it was pretty damn good game. Very eye-catching environment. Steroid Maximus says, I've had ATEC for a while. It's okay. Sort of generic, but well-made and very Doom. I was playing the new Beta Swarm yesterday. Damn, I was flapping all over the place. Extreme. That's Stephen McDougall. Stanislav Blashenko, which I don't remember seeing him in chat. He says, I played ATEC like 30 minutes. He says, more or less normal shooter. So, you know, I think kind of my theory on this game, ATEC Cybernetic, is if you've had Doom VFR and you played through Doom VFR and experienced everything Doom VFR, you've squeezed every little bit of juice out of Doom VFR. And if you've done the same thing with Dead Effect 2, and if you've done the same thing with Doom 3 BFG, then yeah, here's your next game, you know, ATEC Cybernetic. But if you haven't squeezed all the juice out of those 3 other games, should this game jump in front of any of those? I don't know. Does look pretty good. Just thought, you know, we were kind of hurting for stories today possibly, so I thought I'd throw this on here. Andy Sky says, for the price, it's good enough. What is the price on this? Is it $19.99? I think it's $19.99. I had the Steam page up earlier, but forgot to write down the price. I'm pretty sure it's 20 bones, or maybe it's $24.99. This might be $24.99. But yeah, so not too bad. Looks kind of cool. Okay, so let me go ahead and throw up another trailer on the screen. This is not a story. I'm just going to throw a little picture on the screen. I'm going to talk about something else. Okay, that is Alvin Wang Graylin, the 007 for HTC Vive. I mean, he kind of looks like a 007, kind of dashing, debonair. Okay, Gopher Chucks is saying, yep, it is a $24.99 price, so 25 bones for that. This is just one of these little photos where I just do this little zoom in thing. So I have a number of these that I can just throw on the screen temporarily. But what I wanted to talk about real quick is actually about the channel, VR Game Rankings, the YouTube channel, because you know what? Slightly disappointing. I'm not really too much worried about like how many views I'm getting or how many subscribers I'm getting, but I got to admit I'm a little bit perplexed that I am losing subscribers. I'm actually losing subscribers. Since I've started doing this live show, I've been shedding subscribers, like just losing them on a daily basis. And so let's see, I started this daily vlog on July 17th, and it was just a random thing. I was doing something else, and for some reason I got it in my head, why don't I just do a live show just for the hell of it and kind of screw around with it? And I did it, and it worked, you know, it worked out relatively well, and so I decided to keep doing it. I've now done this show 13 days in a row. This is the 14th day in a row. So I am you know, really banging away at this thing, doing this daily show. Most of these shows are like an hour and 10 minutes, or hour and 15 minutes. We try to cover all the news stories that are going on, you know, news stories that sometimes are breaking and stuff like that. I try to be really involved with chat and try to check in on chat and see what's going on with chat. But my views, like my views for these videos, and then also just losing subscribers, is kind of puzzling to me. It is kind of weird because I thought, if anything, I thought maybe I would gain some subscribers by doing this live show. But apparently there's a lot of people out there that they don't like this format at all. And so they are unsubscribing from the channel. And I think it's possible that what it is they like my old style format. They don't like this live show thing. And so they are abandoning left and right. And it's just a little bit concerning. You know, I've kind of gotten over the whole YouTube, like trying to be a YouTuber, man, and, you know, trying to like achieve something from that standpoint. I'm kind of over that. But at the same time, I don't like seeing subscribers, you know, drop off. I don't like seeing my numbers going down. That's not exciting. So, of course, I am talking to you guys. I am preaching to the choir, and you guys love this show. Well, I mean, I don't know that you love this show, but you like this show because you can check in. There's news, there's chat. And I can talk to you guys, and we kind of, it's almost like a little party. It's like we're having a little celebration here. We look at the news, we kind of see what's going on, we check out the trailers, you know, and it's kind of this like inside thing. I think part of the problem is if somebody cannot tune in live, they don't want to see this. What is it about that? What is it about where if you miss a live stream, it's like you don't want to watch that video at all, even though I'm pretty much doing what I did before, but now I'm doing it daily and I'm like popping trailers on live. I'm talking impressions live. Do I stumble over my words and mispronounce things? Yeah, it's live. I can't edit anything out. But it's really interesting how like people do not want to watch a live stream that has already taken place. That's pretty obvious based on the subscribers I'm losing on a daily basis. So I'm going to bounce over to chat. I'm going to bounce over to the choir. I'm preaching to the choir. Let's see what the choir has to say. Okay, hybrid energy. I don't know why I like this live show, but I'm terrible at predicting the popularity of things on YouTube. Sometimes the dumbest videos ever have 1 million views and awesome ones have 2 views. Yeah, that does seem to be the way it is. VR Mania Q, keep doing like that. This live are awesome. So VR Mania likes this. Crunchy says, I prefer this format as it feels more personal. Yeah, maybe people don't like a personal thing. Dr. Freeman says, I appreciate this format as well. Supersonic Station, don't give up. The more you do it on a consistent basis, the more you will grow. It's a great format, very informative, and more personal live. Don't give up on it. James Hardiker says, you need to compress your content. People have short attention spans these days. Yeah, that's a big part of it probably. Kev Gretz says, this live show format is well done. I thought you would be gaining subs, actually. Stanislav Blashinsko says, maybe because it's more time consuming. That's true, yeah, because my old shows were like 20 minutes, 18 minutes, 22 minutes. And so I think some people, what they do is they look at this and they're like, an hour and 25 minutes of a bunch of live mumbo jumbo where he's constantly talking to chat and they have like these inside jokes that I'm not a part of because I'm not watching it live. Is that what it is? Hybrid Energy says you have to spike your hair, dye it blonde, and become an annoying Swedish guy. That's funny. That's really funny. Crunchy says maybe they want a traditional news format, but this is YouTube, not CNN. Well, that's what I used to do. I kind of used to do like kind of a news style show. It's just the editing, man. I just couldn't deal with that. Nick Daniels, the VR YouTube game in general is not doing well. I can't blame it on that. There's other people doing very well. Crunchy says, I can agree that if you aren't participating, it isn't as good. Yeah, that's checking a live show later. Anyways, so people not sure if you're going to keep it up and don't stop like you did before. Fluke Rogi says, I think Epix had a... You know, I called Epix 9/11 yesterday. That was a mistake. That's an example of being live. Epix 9/11. Epix, the Twin Towers. I did not mean to do that. Apologies, Epix. Epix 911. I don't know why I called him Epix 9/11. I think Epix had a similar problem. If people missed his daily videos when he was doing them, the day they came out, they wouldn't go back to watch an older episode. You know, I think one of the problems too is I probably should put timestamps in my video for all of the topics that I get to so that people can, maybe they could click onto the timestamps. Another thing that I was thinking about doing, I haven't done this yet, but one thing that I was thinking about doing is taking a bunch of these daily vlogs and like kind of making a best of where I take like 5 minutes here or 5 minutes there and just kind of like do like a wrap-up show that would have some of the best of the daily vlog. I thought about doing that. Haven't done that yet, but thought about doing it. Crunchy says, I would rather you do this than not at all like you were. Yeah. Okay, so Crunchy, that sounds like you preferred the previous style, but you'd rather have this than nothing, which is certainly understandable. Christian Jensen says, don't get me wrong. I like this show live or not, but everything takes much longer to get out there compared to before. You need to become better with OBS. It can make things much smoother. Yeah, I'm really, well, you know, a lot of times, Christian, this show is created on the fly. You know, like I'll get like new trailers, new stories. What I do need to do, the one thing I really do need to do, I'm going to throw a different trailer on here just so we have something else running in the background. I need to add a whole bunch more trailers is what I do need to do. I'll just put this maxi pool trailer on here. What I do need to do is I do need to get a second monitor, or I like hook up another monitor so I have the 2 monitors set up, and then start incorporating, like when I go to the subreddits and stuff, be able to have that on this screen. Because I know that's not really good, me talking about subreddits. You guys can't see it at all. That's not like very compelling. I understand that. Crunchy says timestamps would probably help. V. Arium says maybe the duration scared some, but being live long show is no more a problem. Weber Kent says, I'd be for the timestamp idea. I really do need to do the timestamp idea. Chris Jensen says, yes, but with keyboard shortcuts and sizing of things, and yeah, the monitor too. Yeah, you know what I saw? I saw this one video where when you really get into doing like OBS and all of that, there's like this box that you can get that has all these buttons, and you could do all these quick effects. You just hit buttons and all these different things happen. That looks super cool. I'd have to figure out how to do that though, and that will take time. The main reason I started doing this style is because I wanted to come up with something that doesn't take a lot of time. I just turn on these cameras, I turn on these lights, turn on this mic, and I just go. You know, I might grab some trailers beforehand and show you guys some trailers, but you know, it's kind of like that. And so it's kind of no fuss, no muss. You know, so we've been doing that. Jim Hall says you need an Elgato Stream Deck. Crunchy says maybe you do shorter stories and then go to the conversations and chat at the end about each topic. Yeah, learning on the fly. Definitely learning on the fly, folks. Paradise Decay is checking in. Paradise, we know that you just posted a new video on Pixel Ripped 1989. Haven't checked that video out yet. Oh, you know, Paradise, I wanted to ask you a question. If I were to copy any of your YouTube videos and just throw them on here, are you okay with that? I haven't done that yet. I'm assuming you'd be okay with it, but I don't, you know, I kind of would rather have somebody's okay about that. But anyway, let's try to get to a new topic here. I didn't want to really spend a lot of time talking about me losing subscribers. Okay, so if you go over to Road to VR, one of the new things that I saw in there is a new VR game called Moonstrike VR. Now, I don't know anything about this game, but what I did do is I ripped the trailer, and I have the trailer, and so I'm going to put the trailer on right now, and I'm going to watch it for the very first time along with you guys. I'll throw in a little bit of sound. Let's check this out. Wait, what is it called? Moonstrike VR. So don't know anything about this. We're going to check this out live. Moonstrike VR. Let me find the trailer here. Okay, here we go. Okay. And of course, I'd have to resize the trailer. Yeah, here's an example. Okay, this is by Big Dorks Entertainment. Whoops. As I try to resize this, and let's get some sound going.
Let's roll, boys.
Oh yeah. Let's dance.
Emeralds active. Destroy them all. Yeah. Oh, Thor.
Go.
Let's do it. Bail.
Oh yeah.
No, that's not good.
No!
Righteous. Detected.
Fire.
Go stop.
Go.
Victory. Inevitable.
For the void.
Got it.
All right, boys, I want a good, clean fight. Who am I kidding? Fight dirty!
All right, so let's see. August 2nd. August 2nd, Moonstrike VR. It's on the Rift and the Vive. Yeah, I don't know that this trailer really like tells me a lot about this game. I do believe it is an RTS. Big Dorks Entertainment. Big Big Dorks Entertainment, Moonstrike VR. It looks like, yeah, it looks like you're using a controller there to like grab things, select things. There's a lot of numbers popping up on the screen. So it does appear to be some type of RTS. I'm going to go over to Road to VR real quick because they do have a story on it. Let's just see what they say really quick here. Road to VR is they're just saying, Big Dorks Entertainment, a studio founded by former Epic Games lead designer Lee Perry. Okay, so a legitimate high-end developer, Lee Perry, started Big Dorks Entertainment. Probably could have had a better name than that, I think. But we have Moonstrike. It's going to be $20, coming out on August 2nd. That's like Friday, right? So this is going to be coming out very soon. It'll be available on the Oculus Store and Steam as well. It says to play Moonstrike, you highlight your little diorama-sized planets by using your Oculus Touch or Vive controller to launch your galactic feet at the enemy. Blah, 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 blah. Yeah, I don't know. Like the only RTS style game that I've gotten into so far has been Brass Tactics. And Brass Tactics, one of my favorites. We do have breaking news, folks. Breaking news. Oculus CV2 just announced. No, just kidding. The breaking news is Samsung Odyssey drops to $400 and HP to $200. Although this keeps happening. So is this a permanent price drop? If this is a permanent price drop, this is actually news. If this is just another price adjustment that we see all the time, we see these things all the time. The Acer is $200 now. The Dell is $350. HP Windows Mixed Reality is $200. I'm on Road to VR right now. They're talking about this. Lenovo's $250, and the Samsung Odyssey is $400. So yeah, I don't know that this is like a new MSRP. I think this is just, it dropped down to $399 again. It's a major story. Yeah, we're kind of hurting for stories in VR at the moment. Like if I bounce over to Upload VR, I'm going to bounce over to Upload VR real quick. Not a lot of major news stories going on. They're doing Hellblade VR live stream. Jeff Minter, Tempest 4000 VR mode looks spectacular. Ooh, that looks sweet. Wonder if there's a video for Tempest 4000. Let me bounce over to YouTube and see if we got a trailer for Tempest 4000. Because anybody that's played Polybius on PlayStation VR, you guys know how cool that is. Tempest 4000. Giant Bomb has a quick look on Tempest 4000. I was trying to see if I could find like a Llama Soft. Let me just look up Llama Soft. Yeah, this could be pretty sweet in VR. I could definitely, I mean, after playing Polybius, I wouldn't be surprised. Oh, that's some other Llama Soft. I can't find, oh, there's Polybius. Yeah, so, I don't know. Tempest 4000, that does sound kind of cool. Okay, so let me bounce back to chat here. Odyssey has been at $400 longer than I thought it would be. That is crunchy. Supersonic Station says, I know Elite Dangerous is great, but not sure why Sean Murray won't release No Man's Sky in VR. I can tell you why, because they have a deal with Sony, and so it would really have to hit Sony. It won't run well on a vanilla PS4, which is what they require. It can't just be on the Pro, and they can't just release it for Rift and for Steam because that would piss off Sony. That's my guess on what's going on there. T-Dub says, the Jeff Minter. Paradise Decay, Valve News Network has a juicy video out. Lots of VR stuff data mined from Valve recently, some of it pointing to Half-Life and VR. He even claims to have found a Half-Life 3 logo. Interesting. James Hardiker says, I think when 1180 GTX is out, it's going to be easier to reach the minimum requirements at a decent price. Then we will probably see lower HMD prices. Not going to mention the anger over the HTC wireless news. Yeah, I did mention that actually the other day, how if you do have an HTC Vive Pro, you are actually going to have to buy some extra little doodads to attach so that it will work with the Vive wireless adapter, which is something that should piss some people off there. Absolutely. You would think maybe like HTC. I'm going to throw in the Zero Caliber trailer since we were previously talking about ATEC Cybernetic. This is Zero Caliber, which is coming up a little bit later. But yeah, that is true. You know, you do have to buy these doodads. We talked about it briefly the other day when the whole wireless thing kind of first popped out there. Do we even have like official news about that wireless adapter? Has that been released yet? Because I know they had a page up. They took the page down. Check this out, guys. The Humble store has Hellblade for 40% off. Of course, this would happen the day after I bought Hellblade at its full $29.99 price. So if you're looking to get Hellblade, Senua's Sacrifice, the Humble store has a deal, 40% off. I clicked on the link right now, $17.99. Talk about perfect timing. Horrible timing for me because I just bought it, and here it is for $17.99. Could have saved myself 12 bucks. Oh well, these things happen, but maybe some of you can save a couple of bucks. So I am on the Vive subreddit. I'm checking the stories here. What are the big stories? There is a story that I found a little bit interesting. It's called Vive Rendering 70% of all pixels completely wasted. I thought this was slightly interesting. I'm going to click on it, tell you guys a little bit about it. So this guy says, just did some tests in Unity today, and I was surprised to find that most of the rendered pixels are completely hidden past the edges of your FOV, in effect wasted on your GPU. Unity by default has an occlusion mesh which attempts to max out pixels that mask, with a K, mask out pixels that can't be seen. However, it does quite a poor job at it. Okay, I'm not a developer at all, but yeah, if I'm looking over here, then all these pixels obviously are wasted. But what if you turn your head a quick second? You know, so isn't that part of it? You know, if you turn your head real quick, and then at the bottom here it says results seem to be heavily dependent on face shape. Based on what users are seeing, some of us are cursed, others can see all the way to the edges of the screen. Yeah, so I don't know. Anyway, thought it was kind of interesting, that little thread there. Let's see. So this is Zero Caliber. Let's check out a little bit of sound for a sec on this trailer. Oh, Hussein X says Racket and X free weekend banner is still on. Yeah, I haven't changed my scrolling ticker for some time. I really got to change that. This is Zero Caliber. Pre-alpha footage. Zero Caliber coming soon. You can connect two guns together. How awesome is that? Look at the light flares on the screen. That kind of looks like Island 359 a little bit. Inverse kinematics, and the risks are incredibly accurate. We have soldiers and planes. Oh, I can throw you a clip in VR. You have sniper rifles. X Real Games. Zero Caliber. So that is September 13th, not too far away. That's why we were talking about ATEC Cybernetic a little bit earlier there. Yeah, I definitely need to fix my scrolling ticker. In fact, you know what? I'm going to write myself a little note. Fix your damn scrolling ticker. I'm going to remind myself. Update your scrolling ticker, bro. It is so outdated. I got information from probably a week ago in there. Thank you. You saved me money on Hellblade. Yeah, Hussein X, you owe me 12 bones, bro. No, we'll split it. You owe me 6. No, yeah, hopefully we save somebody money on that. Now that it's on the Vive subreddit, I mean, this is the #1. It's been upvoted to the top of the Vive subreddit. Hellblade 40% off. I mean, it is perfect timing. for you guys or for anybody that hasn't bought it yet. Okay, bounced over to the Oculus subreddit. I'm going to do a quick check over here. Pixel Ripped 1989 level 1 preview. That's by VR Gamer Dude. But if you scroll down a little bit, nostalgia overload with Pixel Ripped 1989 first impressions by Paradise Decay. He has a video up there. Hellblade VR running amazing on a 1070 GTX 8 gig with the highest settings. I'm slightly worried about that. Oh, here's a news story I am super interested in, and this is Doom VR, and we're talking about the old Doom. Supposedly now it has support for Heretic and like other like Doom based mods and stuff like that. This is on the Oculus subreddit, and the last I heard is that the GZ3 Doom wasn't really working very good on Oculus, but this thread here has a link to GitHub, how to set it up, download, extract this, add this WAD here, do this, do that, and everything is good. I'm going to try to follow this later. I want to check that out. I want to try original old school Doom with actually having weapons that are 3D. That would be cool. We have a thread here, Cat Peed, P-E-E-D on Rift. Cat peed on Rift. That sucks. My cat doesn't pee on anything, at least not in my house. Thank goodness. PSA, Hellblade VR will be free for GOG users too. What? What does that mean? Hellblade Senua's Sacrifice VR Edition is coming to Steam and GOG tomorrow. If you own or buy... Oh, if you already own it, yeah, you get the free VR version. Okay. I thought he was saying the game will be free. I was like, what? And, you know, we have some people still talking about Blade and Sorcery. Of course, we got into that yesterday. So anyway, guys, yeah, I don't know. I might go ahead and bounce out of here. I've been running for an hour. Let me check the PSVR subreddit right here. See if there's any new announcements that have hit PSVR subreddit. Not really seeing anything here. Yeah, nothing's really going on over here. So none of that. Okay, well, that's going to pretty much do it for that. Let me go ahead and check chat, see what people are saying before we bounce out of here. Okay, Racket X, surprisingly cool game. Yeah, I'm curious, did any of you guys try Racket X on the free weekend? I didn't try it during the free weekend, but I've enjoyed it every time I've played with it. Paradise Decay says, Voodoo DE liked Hellblade. He's German, and I could work out the words holy moly. Hybrid Energy says, I'm still hoping Red Matter gets a Revive update to work on Vive. Man, that sucks that Red Matter does not work through Revive, because that is a fantastic game. Red Matter, one of my favorites of 2018, no question about it. Super impressed with what Vertical Robot did there. Steroid Maximus says, anybody know if Hellblade is going to support Windows Mixed Reality? Yeah, that's interesting. If I had a Windows Mixed Reality headset, you do kind of have to wonder, does this game work? Does that game work? I guess a lot of it probably, there's probably some forums somewhere where people kind of really stay up on this and they say, hey, have you tried this in Windows Mixed Reality yet? Have you tried this? You would think that most of this stuff would work by default, but you never know for sure. Fluke Rogi is saying, Anthony has basically made me buy 2 games this evening. Well, if you bought Hellblade for 18 bucks, you know, I saved you some money there. Does the original Doom have aiming? Since Doom did not support looking up or down. Well, yeah, it has aiming like this. You aim there, you aim there. It doesn't, you know, it's not Quake. It doesn't have looking up or looking down. I don't believe. I don't know. Maybe. Christian Jensen says, tried the Doom again an hour ago. Still can't get audio to work. Are you on a Rift? Because I've heard that it works pretty damn good in a Vive, but it's got issues on the Rift. Alexander Ritter, last year I have won a key via Facebook from the developer. I am waiting for the full release now. Not sure which one he's talking about there. Chris Cox, look up Blood Trail on YouTube. Very gory looking VR game coming soon, I believe. Okay, I'll look that up real quick. It's called Blood Trail. Okay, let me take a quick look for Blood Trail. Maybe we could throw on one last trailer on here before I bounce out of here. Blood Trail. I'll throw VR in there. Dev discussion, Blood Trail. Okay, here's a teaser. It's Electrovore Games 1 month ago had this teaser. Okay, I'm going to try to throw this into 4K Video Downloader. We'll have to see, is 4K Video Downloader going to work with us today, or is it going to fight us? Because sometimes I parse the video, you know, it's loading pretty quickly. Yay! 4K Video Downloader is being nice to me today. That is beautiful. Okay, so I will have this trailer on in a jiffy, folks. One sec here. Let me throw this trailer on, and I will also throw a little bit of sound as well. This is called Blood Trail. This is a teaser. Let's check it out.
Hardware signal certified, verified, speed is secure. You're connected to Black Circle. This is operator 6-4. Contract number 83822105540 down session.
Oh, dude, it's dark. It's hella dark out here. Oh, trees. Kind of looks like the forest a little bit. It's like Blair Witch Project. That looked like Brookhaven, that gun. Oh, that's pretty bloody. Don't tell me you're gonna pop dude right in his head. Of course you're gonna pop dude right in his head. Blood Trail. Whoa. I mean, that trailer just blew me away, man. Coming soon. Slenderman, yeah. A virtual reality experience from Electrovore. You know, we need to rank what are the weirdest, most interesting dev names, because I gotta tell you, since I got into VR gaming and kind of left the world of flat gaming, so many different developers I've never heard before. I mean, every other day, like Big Dorks Entertainment. I gotta tell you though, the dude for Epic Games that created Big Dorks Entertainment, there's better names than that, dude. You could have named your company like Storm Rain or Storm Blood or Storm something. I mean, everybody always Storm Cloud, Storm, I don't know. But yeah, there's a lot of crazy developer names. Shotgun to the Face Simulator in VR, says Hybrid Energy. You died from tetanus, says Crunchy. Yeah, so this is Blood Trail. You know, lots of different games coming out of the woodwork. Does look pretty bloody, like right there. Dude is like breathing heavily, holding his innards, and then just gets shotgun blasted to the face. That kind of goes back to the blood and sorcery topic we got into about violence in VR. Here's more violence, more blood. I mean, I'm not opposed to blood. I don't like tons of gore for just the hell of it is kind of like unnecessary, but you know, I'm not like anti-blood in VR. Okay, so I'll bounce back to chat. Roy Schwartz says, this game would be awesome with some cool music. Yeah, not much music there. Dorkstorm, there you go. Yeah, you can just add Storm onto anything and it'll work. Lethal Weasel VR. Cthulhu Gamer, Anthony, watch the trailer for Visage if you haven't seen it. It's supposed to be in VR and it looks like a really good horror game, not the typical jump scare stuff we usually get in VR. There's a lot of horror games. There's like too many horror games, I almost think. May I actually put link for that Doom enhancing program? A lot of times you can't throw links into chat. It's like it won't work very good. But yeah, guys, I got to bounce out of here anyway. I got to make these shows a little bit shorter so that the YouTube audience will accept me. They don't like these 1 hour, 25-minute videos, so we're going to go a bit shorter. So let's go ahead and throw on my outro trailer. If I can get to it. Let's go ahead and throw on the outro. All right, folks. So yeah, that is going to go ahead and do it. This has been episode 163 of the Daily Vlog Live for VR Game Rankings YouTube channel. I will be back, of course, tomorrow, 11 a.m. And guess what, folks? Do you know that tomorrow at noon Pacific, an embargo expires? There is going to be a game that I'm going to talk about tomorrow after we've been doing the show for 1 hour, because the embargo expires at 12 noon Pacific time. Something I have to talk about that is going to be pretty freaking cool. Something that I've been trying in the background that I can't say anything about, but I'll be able to talk about that tomorrow. But our show, 11 a.m. Daily, as far as I know, 11 a.m. Pacific time daily, even though I'm shedding subscribers like a dog sheds fleas or hair or whatever the hell they shed, I'm going to keep banging away at this. And, you know, for a while anyways. So, you know, we'll see what happens. Yeah, Main Fan says Megaton Rainfall. No, that's another game. That is August 9th. But yeah, no, kind of a little Megaton, a mysterious game tomorrow at noon after I've already been through the show 1 hour. But yeah, we'll get into that tomorrow. Supersonic says it's Visage. Or no, at Supersonic, he's saying it's Visage. That's Cthulhu Gamer. Nah, you guys will see what the game is. It's a known commodity, but not too many people are talking about it. And I wasn't interested in it hardly at all until I tried it. And then I was like, wow, this actually is impressing the hell out of me. Okay, guys, I will see everybody tomorrow at 11 a.m. Pacific. See you then. Later.